When a woman receives a note from her son telling her to dig up his coffin after a year, what she discovers is truly horrifying. The day after Adam's funeral, Natalie was consumed by her grief, each passing moment feeling unbearably long. Her son Adam had tragically lost his life in a devastating car accident that ended in flames. Now, Natalie found herself utterly alone in the world. Then, unexpectedly, a note appeared in her mailbox. The handwriting, eerily similar to Adam's, instructed her to wait precisely 1 year and, under the cover of darkness, unearth his coffin. Panic and confusion overwhelmed Natalie. The note was cryptic, the idea itself absurd, yet the striking resemblance to Adam's handwriting was impossible to dismiss. She questioned whether her grief was clouding her sanity or if something more sinister was at work. Could someone be playing a cruel prank on her? Determined to find answers, she made her way up to the attic, rifling through boxes of Adam's childhood belongings. At last, she found what she was searching for. As a teenager, Adam had a passion for writing stories and dreamed of becoming an author one day. Natalie had always been in awe of his vivid imagination and remarkable storytelling. She had lovingly kept all his stories, hoping that one day, when he achieved his dream, she could remind him of how it all began. Now, as she stared at her son's old manuscripts, the handwriting was unmistakably similar to that on the eerie note she had just received. The familiarity of the strokes and loops sent a shiver down Natalie's spine. Questions gnawed at her. If it was indeed Adam's handwriting, how could he have known that he was going to die and sent the note to her 24 hours after his funeral? Why would Adam communicate in such a mysterious manner, and what motive could he possibly have for causing her such distress? It was impossible to think that Adam had left this note in her mailbox himself, and Natalie had never been a woman who believed in the supernatural. But who would play such a cruel trick on a grieving old woman? As she grappled with the worrying problem, a deep sense of unease settled over Natalie, prompting her to confront not only the mysteries of the note, but also the unsettling possibilities surrounding her son's departure. Bathed in the soft glow of the attic's dim light, Natalie remained hunched over the weathered boxes containing the relics of Adam's childhood. Dust particles danced in the air as she carefully sifted through mementos, each item a fragment of a time when their connection was unbreakable. The room echoed with the soft rustle of aged paper and the distant hum of memories. Natalie vividly remembered the days when Adam was a little boy, their laughter echoing through the halls of their home. However, the passage of time had not been kind. In his late teens, Adam had drifted away, drawn by the allure of money that a life of crime offered him. Adam had fallen in with a nasty crowd, becoming entangled with a wealthy crime boss who controlled the underbelly of the city. Over the years, their relationship had deteriorated, and Natalie blamed the crime boss for leading her son down a dark path. The warmth that had defined their relationship was replaced by a chilling void. In the attic's solitude, surrounded by the mementos of a happier time, Natalie grappled with the haunting echoes of the past and the unsettling mystery of the note that had thrust her into a realm where reality and her worst fears collided. Without Natalie knowing, Adam had grown tired of working for the crime boss. Many years of being a puppet for the man had taken its toll on Adam. He regretted a lot of his life choices, and those decisions weighed very heavily on his mind each day. Adam desperately wanted to break free from the dangerous life he'd been living, knowing that if he tried to escape, the crime boss would swiftly and fatally punish him. So Adam came up with a plan to finally get away from the crime boss for good. He carefully thought through each step, knowing that one wrong move could lead to disaster. In the hidden corners of the city, Adam worked on his escape, taking every precaution to avoid the watchful eyes of the crime boss. The tension built as he neared his moment of freedom, a high-stakes game where the consequences were life or death. To involve anyone else in his plans, to even hint at anyone what he wanted to do, could prove fatal. This was a task that Adam had to see through entirely on his own. If he failed, he risked that his own mother would never even know what happened to him. Many times, Adam almost quit. It seemed too risky. But deep down, He knew he couldn't keep living the life he had. For the following year, Natalie found herself trapped in a web of unrelenting pressure, courtesy of the cryptic notes that had taken over her life. On the infrequent occasions when her weary body finally gave in to exhaustion, sleep offered no respite. Instead, she was tormented by vivid nightmares, each one a harrowing replay of the dread-filled act of unearthing her son's resting place. The never-ending mental and emotional torment cast a lingering shadow over Natalie's existence, leaving her caught in a cycle of fear and sleepless nights. As the day appointed by the mysterious note approached, Natalie couldn't shake the excitement that clung to her every waking moment. She felt a mix of fear and anticipation, unsure of what she might find when she followed the strange instructions. The day finally arrived. In the silent hours of the night, Natalie crept through the graveyard, her senses heightened. The moon cast long shadows as she reached her son's final resting place. She gently touched the gravestone that marked where her son was buried. Tears began rolling down her face. Why would anyone want her to do this? What would she find down there? But Natalie knew she couldn't ignore the note. Someone wanted her to do this, and she needed to know why. With a trembling hand, she began to dig, the soil giving way to her desperate efforts. After what felt like an eternity, the lid of the coffin was exposed. Natalie frantically brushed away the remaining soil so she could open the coffin. Her heart pounding in her chest, she had to summon all her courage. She pushed the lid open. To her horror, an envelope lay on the decaying body within. The body was badly decomposed and unrecognizable. Fearful and tearful, she unfolded the letter within. "I'm alive." Those two words sent a chill down Natalie's frail form. She nearly let out a scream, grappling with the impossibility of the situation. Behind the two-word note was a letter that explained Adam's plan, revealing that the body in the coffin was that of one of his criminal associates. He assured his mother that he was living in a new country under a new identity and implored her to keep his secret for her own safety. Adam revealed that the only way he could escape the crime boss and live was to fake his own death and start a new life in a distant land with a new identity provided by his criminal contacts. The letter explained that he needed to make his mother wait a year before revealing the truth to her in order for any fuss over his death to die down. He didn't want the crime boss to become suspicious. This was as much for his own safety as for his mother. As Natalie read each word, waves of shock coursed through her. Adam concluded his letter with heartfelt apologies for the poor decisions that had driven them apart, expressing his hope for a chance to rebuild their relationship. Though uncertain of when or how he might contact her again, he assured her that he would and hoped she would be willing to mend their bond. As the truth came to light, Natalie was overwhelmed by a whirlwind of emotions, relief, joy, anger, and confusion all battling within her. She had grieved the loss of her son, only to learn that he had staged the entire ordeal to escape the grasp of a ruthless crime boss and to protect them both. Standing in the stillness of the graveyard, Natalie reflected on the choices Adam had made and the sacrifices he had endured to ensure his survival and her safety. The town remained unaware of the secret hidden beneath the moonlit soil. Natalie, though weighed down by the truth, found solace in the knowledge that her son was alive and working to turn his life around. Now, she held onto hope for a better future and waited for his next message, hopefully not delivered from within a coffin this time. I'm really keen to know your thoughts on this story, so please don't hesitate to share your insights in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this video and found it engaging, I invite you to subscribe to our channel for more similar content. Feel free to share this video. Take good care of yourselves, and I'm excited to connect with you in our future videos.